Hey everyone, welcome to the last Super Bowl recap you'll probably hear because we've been off for almost 2 full weeks since the big game, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We'll get to that and one of our favorite activities we do every year on this podcast, our quarterback predictions for 2026. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Sports Ballers Podcast. My name is Eric Meyer. I am joined by Corey Puffett and Evan Ash. Gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight?
Exhausted, but glad to finally get a chance to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because that happened.
It did.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're doing good. It's been a productive, short-ish week, for at least for me, because it's a federal holiday on Monday. I know Evan probably had to work on Monday.
Did not.
Oh, you got off Monday. Good for you. Corey, did you have to work Monday?
I did. Basketball.
Oh, well, that's because you have to do everything at this school. But anyway, let's talk about the Super Bowl because, again, we are probably the latest to do that because we've been off for a minute. Like, normally we would have done this last Tuesday, but we weren't here. And then
Because of basketball
and then,
as well.
And then Tuesday, 2 days ago, we also weren't here. So,
Because it was somebody's birthday.
Oh, it was my dad's birthday.
happy
Yes.
birthday to Mr.
I'm like,
Ash.
wait, what happened?
Yes. Happy birthday, Mr. Ash.
How was that, by the way?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Like it
All right, well,
Yeah.
thanks, Evan.
wasn't.
What
I
was
sure hope your dad is listening tonight.
I mean, that's better than the last time he had to go to a birthday party and he basically complained the whole time his grandfather turned 90 or something like that.
Because it was 4 days long. It just kept going and going and going.
I got my
you
own.
try turning 90 and not wanting a celebration that lasts a while.
Watch me.
I've got my own story about a grandparent turning 90 and an obnoxious celebration that followed, but that's for another time. Let's actually talk about sports because that's what we do here. Super Bowl LX 60. Nice even round numbers. Good to have 60, but I love it when it's just settled on that. The Seattle Seahawks handled the New England Patriots in this one pretty much from the jump. The final score, I believe, was 29-13. But, it's been a while since I looked, and I also checked out of the game pretty early on, as did most people who weren't rooting for the Seahawks. But congratulations to Seattle. Huge accomplishment for them. Mike McDonald's year 2 as the head coach. Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion. These are things that I didn't think I would be saying, but they are true. So, Evan, what was your takeaway from the Seahawks, just specifically them?
I mean, Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over. So, maybe he's a little more trustworthy than I gave him credit for. And that Seahawks defense was ferocious. And they really took advantage of a Patriots team that was, kind of lucky to be there. The AFC was down this year. The Patriots were, certainly deserving AFC champions, but they had an easier road than past AFC champions.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add to that. Drake May, for as good as he looked through the regular season, and he was rightfully in the MVP conversation, very close to winning it, potentially a vote away from winning it over Matthew Stafford. I think that the playoffs, if anything, added credence to the people who were naysaying him for the easy schedule, because while, yes, the Patriots beat 3 very good defenses to get to the Super Bowl to face a 4th very good defense, Drake May did not play well in any of those 4 playoff games that the Patriots were in. The worst, I believe, QBR or NYA, expected points. Yeah, it was the EPA.
Yeah.
The worst EPA for a quarterback making it to the Super Bowl through a playoff run ever. Like, ever.
I mean, so I noticed that it wasn't just making it to the Super Bowl, it was just in general. But part of that is because normally if you have a bad EPA, you just get eliminated. You don't have a chance to do it 4 times in a row.
Oh,
So
like
it's pretty.
Hunter Strickland allowing the most home runs in the postseason.
Yeah, because he was just kept giving up nukes to Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
But then
his
the Giants
team
kept
won all the
winning.
other
Yeah.
games.
Because
So what happens when you have a series instead of a single game?
That's what happens when you have Madison Bumgarner able to pitch and making sure you don't. So that worked out pretty well. But from that side of it, yeah, Drake May struggled. Shoulder issue apparently popped. Later in the game.
We just lost audio. Hold on. All right, we're back.
All right. Well, sorry about any technical difficulties on that end, but anyway, Drake May, big time struggle bus for him. I think, again, I don't think it really takes away from what he did during the regular season, just because he was still playing with the same team and playing against, he played against some good defenses there as well, but it kind of saved him from potential humiliation of being an MVP that played that poorly, not just in the Super Bowl, but throughout the playoffs, because that's a bad look. And that ultimately would take away from your actual winning. But the fact that he was
and
a
it could
candidate,
very well
yeah,
impact his eligibility to win the MVP in the future.
absolutely. Like, he's going to probably do a little bit of a penance for this because, that's just the nature of how voters operate. But
if he has a couple of good years and then he has a great year, at that point I think that people would be more willing to forgive this bad Super Bowl run, or playoff run, than if he had won the MVP and had a terrible playoff run.
Or if he just next year, even if he doesn't have as good of a regular season, but they make the playoffs and he wins a couple of games because he played really well, then obviously we're like, all right, well, he's on his way to being what we kind of think he might be, which is an excellent franchise quarterback for the New England Patriots. But the Seahawks, Evan mentioned it, Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over the entire postseason. 0 turnovers. Now, the first game wasn't much of a game. It was over at kickoff. And then the second game against the Rams, that was really the Super Bowl because, I mean, the Seahawks, that was the toughest game they had, period. And you would expect it to be from a division rival with the actual MVP slinging the ball. And then they get to the Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold, first 2 drives, was trying so hard to throw a pick.
Yeah,
he was begging to throw a pick. And all that happened really was, I think the Seahawks saw what we all saw. There's no way in hell the Patriots were moving the ball against that defense. They had no chance. Will Campbell was getting destroyed every snap. And why is that, Evan?
Got short arms.
He's got short arms. And we don't like short-armed offensive tackles or linemen in general in this podcast.
Can't play. No,
can't do it. And
Guys
he was
get
getting
all up in your chest and stuff like a turtle on its back.
Yes.
Just useless.
We don't do short arms here. So, but yeah, Drake May struggled. But I think Seattle looked at that and said, they're not going to be able to score on us. Let's just hand the ball off. Let's play conservative, run, pass, punt if we have to, and that's fine. Like, the only way we're going to lose this game is if we put the ball at risk, so they kind of dialed it back. And the big shots that Sam was taking early in the game, some level of success. The first drive, he hit a couple of big throws to put them in position to kick a field goal, but they really just scaled it back at that point because they knew they had it in hand.
Yeah, and it was very frustrating from the standpoint of somebody who was hoping for a good game, and what I was kind of rooting for the Patriots, honestly. I believe that a lot of the blame for this loss falls on McDaniels.
McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels.
Unfortunately, we have to clarify that because there's a McDaniel, too.
That's true. That was one of the worst offensive coaching performances I have seen in my life. That might have been the worst game from a play calling standpoint of the 2025 NFL season. It was putrid. The Seahawks played so conservatively after that first drive. They gave the Patriots so many opportunities to stay in that game. It was 12-0 early, in the second half. The Patriots were still in a position where they could have put a couple of drives together and been in a spot to win the game, and they were so scared to try anything outside of some really dumb trick plays that they tried to run. Their play calling was handicapped. It was horrible. It's like 3 runs and a punt for most of the first half. They had so many opportunities with good field position where they only needed to get like 3 first downs, and you at least kick a field goal. You're at least like, meeting the Seahawks where they are, because that's all the Seahawks were doing in the first half. And then by the time that the final score makes you think, oh, you can't put it all on McDaniels because like the Seahawks wound up beating them by a lot. Most of that came in the fourth quarter when Drake May was in a position where he had to try to overplay and started turning the ball over and giving the Seahawks opportunities to score more points. It was such a bad coaching job. I've never seen a coaching job that bad in the postseason.
It was pretty impressively bad for a lot of reasons, and some of it falls on Mike Vrabel too. He's the head coach.
He's the head coach, but he's a defensive guy.
He's still the head coach. He's the head coach.
He is the head coach, but and if you want to put it on his feet as far as maybe he shouldn't have McDaniels as his offensive coordinator, I'm fine with hearing that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there were other things outside of just the play calling, the decisions to punt at certain times, the decision not to go for 2. Vrabel was shockingly unprepared for situations, and that's never been his bag.
Yes.
So he struggled. Like, that was supposed to be an area where they were better, right? Like, Mike McDonald is an excellent young coach, but he is a young coach. Mike Vrabel, while this is his first Super Bowl, he's a veteran. He's been around a while, and he played in a lot of Super Bowls.
He played in a lot of Super Bowls, and he had success in Tennessee.
Absolutely. And we highly revere Mike Vrabel as a coach in the NFL. We all agree he's one of the best in the league. We thought it was ridiculous he got fired in Tennessee. We thought it was ridiculous he didn't get hired immediately when he was fired in Tennessee. And we thought it was ridiculous that the Patriots ultimately get to have Mike Vrabel because it's like, damn it, they just got to have the GOAT for like 25 years almost, and now you just give him another great coach. But he did not have a good performance. And just Josh McDaniels, even worse. This was his 10th Super Bowl he was coaching in.
What?
Yes, including before he was the Patriots offensive coordinator. He was on Charlie Weiss's staff for the first 2 Super Bowls that the Patriots, or first 3 that they played in, and then he took over after Weiss took the Notre Dame job, and that's ultimately when he became the offensive coordinator. And then he came back after Bill O'Brien didn't get fired. He left for the Penn State job, but he's been there for 10 Super Bowls, and it looked like he was in his first. He looked Clint Kubiak, by contrast, was coaching in his first Super Bowl and did great. So, it was baffling that they couldn't win that battle. And that's what I think is really troublesome for the Patriots. It's like they didn't lose just because their roster depth wasn't that good. We knew this team wasn't that talented top to bottom. But the cornerstone pieces, their number 4 overall pick at left tackle, killed them all postseason. Their star quarterback, who was an MVP candidate, was terrible all postseason. And their coaching staff, their head coach and their offensive coordinator, had terrible Super Bowls. Those are the type of things that kind of shake the foundation of what was looking like a pretty positive window coming up for them. It's interesting. The luckiest break I've ever seen in postseason. When the backup quarterback comes into a playoff game, the team loses immediately. Or the backup rallies the team and earns something to get to the conference championship game. See Nick Foles. See Jeff Hostetler. See a lot of guys that have actually made it happen. This is the first time that somebody got to start a game without actually starting any other games. Mm-hmm. And it was Jarrett Stidham. If Bo Nix breaks his foot in the third quarter of that Bills game, the Bills win that game easily. No questions asked. Which means the Patriots would be facing Buffalo at home in a snowstorm, and they're probably losing that one. Instead, they get to face the equivalent of like a 7-win team because that's probably what the Broncos would have done. They would have gone 7-10 if Jarrett Stidham was their quarterback the whole season. And I think that stroke of luck backfired because it put them in a game in front of literally as many people that watch TV ever, because the Super Bowl is the highest rated television program in the history of the earth, and everybody got to see them get exposed. You can't tell me that doesn't carry some level of hangover effect into next year. The belief can't be there the same way it was. And there's going to be a recovery period here.
I mean, there's history of teams that lose the Super Bowl struggling in the next year, right? Like the Eagles when they lost to the Chiefs the other time, they were struggling because they were just so stuck. Like, we almost had it, and we let it go.
Well, and the funny thing about that team was the psyche. The Eagles were great up until they played the Chiefs. They went to Arrowhead and they beat them, and that was basically their Super Bowl. And then they were shot. Like, the rest of the season, they didn't care. Like, that was the turning point after they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Then they just lost the rest of their games and then went to Tampa and just got put out of their misery. So, there is definitely something that comes with, losing a Super Bowl, especially when you do it when everybody all season said, y'all are frauds. Y'all don't belong here. Y'all have got lucky all year. And the haters are right. Score one for the haters.
Yeah, sometimes the haters
Honestly,
are right.
good call by the haters.
Yes, great call by the haters. And we should have seen it coming. I feel this one. I feel kind of dumb because I knew the Seahawks were a much better team. I expected more out of coach and quarterback from New England, and we didn't get it.
I expected less out of Sam Darnold, right?
I mean, he played an okay game. He didn't really do a whole lot.
Right, but I thought he was going to do more stuff.
You thought he was going to go out there and blow the game, which, again, early on it looked like he was going to try to, but they... And again, I gave most of the credit to Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak for reining him in. Credit to Sam Darnold, too, for still not trying to go hero mode and staying disciplined, because that's frustrating.
Shout out to Kenneth Walker for making it so Sam Darnold didn't have to go hero mode because Walker was excellent in this game.
Yes. Yeah, Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker, which was interesting because Kenneth Walker's a frustrating fantasy player because you see him take handoffs and you see him bust big runs. You see him getting like 8-9 yards a carry at times. And then you wonder, why is he not in the game for more reps? And Collinsworth pointed it out on the broadcast. He can't catch the ball out of the backfield, and he's terrible in pass protection. Literally the only thing he can do is carry the rock.
That's why Zach Charbonnet every year has become a bigger part of that offense. And it's also, like, in addition to that, like, Kenneth Walker was always getting hurt, so that hasn't helped him either. But yeah, I mean, Walker had a great game. He's the first running back to win Super Bowl MVP since TD
or
Terrell Davis, I think.
Yeah,
it was the first Super Bowl.
Yeah, 1997.
Yeah,
Super Bowl 32. Yeah. I mean, yeah, congratulations to Kenneth Walker for that. Again, this was a game where, again, he had like 100 plus yards. I think it was 105 yards on like 20 carries or something like that. So very efficient.
Yeah.
But the Seattle.
It was 135 on 27 carries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I was looking like mid game when I saw that number and then I checked out. But it was a great game from him. And again, it was another defensive masterclass where it's just like it's so hard to pick an MVP from a defense.
Yeah.
Because the whole unit dominated.
That's sort of what I said in my prediction that we posted to the website. I picked Sam Darnold as my MVP just because I figured, the safe pick is the quarterback, but I really expect that it's going to come from the defense. I just couldn't even begin to guess which defender is going to be the one to step up here. And they all stepped up. And because they all stepped up, you can't pick between them. You wind up going with an offensive player. It just happened to be that Kenneth Walker was by far the most effective offensive player in that game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could have argued Witherspoon was the guy on the defense.
You might have been able to argue Myers as the MVP.
Yeah, he was kicking so many field goals. I was kind of joking. I was like, can he? But then I realized all the field goals were pretty routine. I'm not giving you an MVP.
Was there a 50-plus yarder
I don't think
in there?
so.
I think there was like a 47 maybe.
Like one in the 40s, but most of them they stalled out in the red zone. They kicked a short field goal. But yeah, Witherspoon was brilliant on those blitzes. Once again, Josh McDaniels couldn't figure out a corner blitz despite coaching in 10 Super Bowls, like to the point where even Stephon Diggs was just instinctively running hot routes when the corner would blitz and May wasn't looking for him because nobody said to the young quarterback, hey, they're sending the corner. When he does that, throw to the spot that he abandoned. We learned to do that when we played Madden. Like, I remember when we played Nolan would always take the free safety and move him down the line of scrimmage. So then I just had the tight end run hot right to that spot, and he'd get mad and say that I'm cheating. And I'm like, no, you're just not playing. You're not playing your role. You're trying to out here freelancing, and I know what you're doing because I can see the guy. So anyway, shout out to Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Shout out to that Seahawks defense. Once again, we talked about this interesting stat, which again is kind of a slap in the face to Baltimore Ravens fans. Every team that has won these quote-unquote DVOA championship and the defensive DVOA championship has won the Super Bowl except for the 2023 Baltimore Ravens. So that's a shame. But I mean, you kind of saw why though, because it's so difficult year over year to have great defenses. Offense, it's like you've got a good quarterback and good coach, you can pretty much guarantee. Like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's offenses, even this year, not as good as usual, but still never terrible. Like, and meanwhile, defense, you lose 2 or 3 guys, it can ruin your whole season. So it's so hard to be consistent on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
All right, so before we just kind of do a general recap of the season, and again, recap, more like just what we thought about it, let's talk about our prop bets, Corey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Corey got back in the win column after a brief hiatus from it. Last year when I...
2 years ago.
2 years
So we
ago,
didn't do it
sorry,
last year.
Corey needed to regroup and also had a kid, so that might have been
That was the main thing.
That might have been a factor. But Corey, this year, I think $9.12 was the number.
Yeah.
Which I was grateful for because the first 20 minutes of the broadcast,
It looked like it was going to be a lot worse.
I thought I was going to have to cough up like $40. I'm like, this is a disaster. I'm losing all of these bets. And then somehow, like, I actually had a chance, like, in the fourth quarter with a couple breaks to actually maybe pull it out and get in the black here. But unfortunately, it didn't go my way. But still, $9.12. Well played, Corey. I always, this year specifically, I was really worried because when we were doing the show, and Corey's like giving all these reasons because he did all this research. I was like, I didn't do any research. I'm just picking stuff. And,
This is what I've done every year. Maybe that's part of why I've won 4 out of 5 years that we've done this.
Not every year, though.
Not every year.
Last year.
And you got a pretty good
and I got
chunk
a big
back
chunk,
for
yeah.
that.
Like I probably had the biggest.
Like I've won
winning.
4 or 5 years, and I'm up less than $30 net. So
Ooh, I did pretty good 2 years ago. So
yeah, you did very well.
All right.
But yeah, I won 6 of the prop bets. Eric won 4 of them, and yeah.
All right, so just a general thought, like, because we've watched a lot of these Super Bowls. We're older now. I think this is my
We're just old.
28. I mean, there's people have been to every Super Bowl, like so.
Are there?
Or maybe not anymore, but there were.
Yeah.
And those dudes are old.
Yeah.
Super old. So, but anyway, I've watched 29 Super Bowls now. My first one was Super Bowl 32. That was John Elway versus Brett Favre, and yeah, that was quite a good one.
My first one would have been the next year against the Falcons.
Yeah, which was not as good of one, but
No.
I will say this just as a lead off, and I went back and looked too, like through all 60 of them. Obviously, I didn't watch all 60 of them. This is the worst one, period for me. Like, and I realize there have been bigger blowouts. I got nothing really to take away from this game.
43-8 would like a word.
43-8 at least featured Peyton Manning. It at least featured the Legion of Boom. Like, I don't have anybody on either side really to feel good or bad about winning
We're
or
not
losing.
going to go with Super Bowl 5, where there were like 20,000 turnovers and
The
a
Dallas
defender
Cowboys were
from the
playing in that
losing
game.
team won MVP.
Johnny Unitas won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
So,
Yeah.
Johnny
And a
Unitas.
defensive player from the Cowboys
That's okay.
won MVP.
I know. I agree that
The
was
final
a bad
score was
game.
16-13.
It's still significant because Johnny Unitas won a Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, what about
There's no Johnny Unitas in this game.
what about
Who's Johnny Unitas in this game?
I don't know.
Maybe
we
Drake
don't know
May.
yet.
Could
Drake
be
May
Drake.
lost.
Drake May.
But he lost.
That's true, yeah.
And he played like crap.
Maybe it's Sam Darnold.
It's not Sam Darnold. That's my point. It's like if Sam Darnold had balled out in this game, I would have been like, oh, hell yeah. Like maybe a star is born in year 8 or something like that. But we didn't really get that. I came away feeling like it was kind of a disappointing end to what I thought was a really, really good season.
Yeah,
That's just how I felt.
I think one of the bad Super Bowls, whichever one was at the Georgia Dome in like 1992, it was like Bills and Cowboys or something. It was
Commodes.
50,
Yeah, 92.
55 to 10, something like
92 was
The
Bills.
Metrodome
Commodes.
was Commodes or Washington versus Buffalo.
that. Oh, okay.
The Cowboys they played in the Rose Bowl the first time, and the second time they played in Atlanta, I think, 94.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was
94.
94.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that game.
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, that was a bad one. But I mean, the year before that was arguably worse. Like the first one was 52-17. The second one was like 30-13.
The Bills kind of got off to an interesting start in one of those too, but Anyway, this one sucked.
These are ones that we didn't actually get to watch live.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
mean,
don't think I've ever seen the whole game start to
probably
finish.
did
I've seen
watch
the
it,
highlights.
But you know,
We
just
didn't know what we
as
were watching or that we were
babies.
watching anything.
Yeah.
Probably preventing my parents from watching it, if anything.
I mean,
Corey
yeah.
was born
I was born 5 days
after
4
days? 5 days.
5 days
Yeah.
after the Commodes beat
their last
Bills.
Super Bowl win. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
tough break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 7 months old. So I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No,
Eric?
I don't. I don't recall that happening. But yeah, this again, not the best Super Bowl, but again, it happens. This is how whenever some dummy gets up here and says, "Oh, the NFL's scripted." Really? You think they scripted Sam Darnold and this sort of no-name defense? Again, great players on the defense, but they have kind of taken pride in the fact that they are
We don't
a
know who they
no-name
are.
defense.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to, because I think this is going to be a good defense for a while. I mean, they've got potential to be around for a while, but the game was just it was a rough watch, and that was a big part of it was because one of the teams didn't belong there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, if you were just talking about the gameplay of it, there's other games in my lifetime that I can think of that were worse in the Super Bowl. The Patriots-Rams Super Bowl.
That was bad. Yeah,
a few years ago was horrible.
Also ended.
I mean, I won a lot of money on Super Bowl squares because it was such a bad game, and I had the 0-0 and the 7-7 squares. And I think I had a 7-3 square too. I won the first 2 quarters, and I think I won the fourth quarter / final score.
it was
the
never.
Rams only got 3 points. Didn't they?
It was
Yeah.
never. And the Patriots never had 7. They had 3, 10, and 13.
So maybe it wasn't 7-3.
Yeah, but it
whatever
stayed
was.
there for a
Whatever
while,
it was,
and
I
it was
won
pissing
2
me
quarters and the fourth / final score.
Yeah, well,
I
good for
raked
you.
that one.
I mean, yeah, I would say so. But yeah, it was a rough game. But again, this is one of the better seasons though that we've had in a while. I think because we had a lot of sort of new teams emerge. Like the Chicago Bears won a playoff game,
They won the division.
and
They won the division, they
and they
won
won
a
a playoff game against the Packers.
Yeah,
Like, when was the last time that happened?
yeah.
But then they win in overtime as well.
Yeah,
Is it
and they
insane?
came back. Or that wasn't an overtime game, was it?
No, I thought they
no.
lost the overtime game in the
To the
division.
Rams.
They lost to
yeah.
the Rams.
After
Yeah,
that sick ass throw that Caleb made. He's a big part of the reason.
Giving Josh Wallace flashbacks.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Josh Wallace is a defender for the Rams who is a DeMatha alum and was here when Caleb Williams had the miracle Hail Mary to win
Yeah.
the WCAC championship.
Oh, jeez.
and to this day, the Gonzaga fans won't let us forget it because they put him on their roster every year. Which I'm like, y'all are so lame.
That is so corny.
It's
so
very
corny.
Oh.
Literally, like they still have 18 Caleb Williams in purple on
In
their
all- in
roster
all caps,
in
yeah.
all caps every year. It's like this dude graduated years ago.
and he's not like dead.
And he's not peaked in high school Rob Lowe either.
Yeah, he's
Like,
in the NFL, like,
Yeah,
and he's doing pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, so
He did pretty good in college too.
he won a Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to the real meat of the show. Quarterback rankings.
Well, hold on. I
you
do
got more?
have something else to say
Let's
about
hear
the
it.
season because as good as the season was, and I agree, this was a really fun season. I think I'm over the new kickoff.
Oh yeah. And you liked
It-
it. You were one of the bigger proponents
I
of it.
like the concept of it. What I
Concept
don't
of it.
like is the result. We had 5 quarterbacks hit 4,000 passing yards this year.
I don't know.
Like, offense was way, way, way down this year. And a lot of that is because we went from teams averaging, I think it was like 20 or 30 something kick return yards a game to averaging like 100 kick return yards a game this year, if not more.
And that,
Like-
does that include even touchbacks that start the?
No, that does not. That does not include that. That just counts like the actual returns. So like when you also factor in all the touchbacks, that gives you an extra, 15 yards of field position from what we had growing up, or even just the extra 5 yards of field position compared to last year. Like that's a lot less yardage available to offenses to operate in. It means less offense in general. And yeah,
Defense
there's more
has got
scoring,
better,
but at the
too.
same time, you also have kickers who are so much better from long range, and you literally need a first down and a half to get into some of these guys' field goal range. 2.5 for the average to slightly below average kickers to get into their field goal range. I think that's absurd. I think that's absurd. I think, I don't know what the solution is to still have the kickoff be meaningful. but I don't like it. I don't like where offenses are in the NFL right now.
I mean, I think
Because as much fun as the kickoff is, I'm here to watch quarterbacks sling the ball around. I'm here to watch receivers make amazing catches. I'm here to see running backs rip off 85-yard touchdown runs from time to time.
I want to see a quarterback lead an 80-yard drive again. Like, come on. I'm tired of starting the ball at the 35. That used to be premium field position. You might as well kick the ball out of bounds now. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you really should just go ahead and kick it out of bounds. You're giving it to them at the 40. So
Tyler
who cares?
would love to.
yes. I mean, 5 yards versus risking giving up a touchdown, considering the Ravens' kickoff coverage was so bad. Oh, boy.
The kicker wasn't very good either.
Well, I mean,
It's better than the last kicker at the end.
certainly off the field, as far as we know right now.
Yeah, let's hope that stays.
I mean,
the case.
I mean, I don't like the idea of like half measures and little tweaks and stuff. Like, just start the game at the 20.
At this point,
Just
I would
do that.
honestly be okay with that.
Just start at the 20.
Or just go back to what it was 20 years ago when you kicked off from the 30. And, nowadays pretty much every kicker is going to get it to the end zone. But
Maybe
once
have
they
that
moved it up,
kickoff be from your own 20.
once they moved it to the 30 or to the 35 for the kickoff spot, that's when you saw every ball going through the end zone. And then we sort of progressed to where we are now.
And you also saw every returner who caught it in the end zone, even like a step into the end zone, you just go ahead and kneel it because it's unlikely you're getting it all the way to the 35 from the end zone.
Yeah.
But you can get it to the 20 from the end zone, especially if you still have the stationary start for both, coverage teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, keep that, but still have it at the 20. Teams will return from the end zone from time to time thinking they can get better than 20 yards of field position in that situation.
I think that's where the NFL made the mistake, is instead of having, the touchback at the 35 where you have to kick it in the landing zone, like, make returners want to return it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's I agree with that. But another thing is, the big part of the reason that people love the kickoff is the aesthetic. It's the whole team's running up to the line, and the ball gets kicked, and the cameras are popping and everything like that.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
that's the one
sensation.
thing I
but
like
at the
about
same
it.
time, I also understand the rate of concussions
Yeah,
on
I
kickoffs were
understand.
greatly reduced with them not having
Sure.
to run the full length of the field and get up to speed the same way.
I get that, but you've already compromised it, so just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, if
Just
that's
start
how we're
at
going
the
to play,
20.
just get rid of the kickoff then. Like, it doesn't serve a purpose, except now it's like, how many exciting kickoff returns did we really get this year? Like, we got the one in the Seahawks 49ers game where the kicker tried
Yeah.
to slide tackle the guy. But, like, that was like it was not
Kicker
common.
should be suspended, right? Like,
The penalty that he would have gotten
Well,
if he had successfully taken Shaheed down would have been a bargain.
yeah.
For, it was what,
He'd
10
be-
yards, 15 yards.
Yeah, it's 15 yards.
You stole a touchdown from somebody by cheating. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
he needs to be suspended. That that
It was
that's
outrageous.
not football.
It was unbecoming of the sport.
Yes.
It was insane.
I'm trying to pull up a Pro Football Reference, and for some reason, it's not.
Oh, there's no Wi-Fi in here? Is that what you're saying?
There is Wi-Fi. It's just not Wi-Fi that works for you, and I don't know why. It wants to perform a security update. Here we go. Okay, so I want to see just like a quick comparison of returning from this year versus 2024.
Yeah, because that was before they instituted the new
Yeah,
strange
so
kickoffs. All right, well,
in 2025, we had 25.9. No, that's
25.9 touchdowns.
No,
Hmm.
this isn't. I'll
All right,
see if
well,
I can
yeah,
find it.
yeah.
I'm looking at the player stats by mistake.
All right, well,
Yeah,
we
you
agree.
continue. I'll
The
see if I can
kickoff
find
rules
it, but-
are, can go back to where they were. I think it was, again, it was a noble effort to try to litigate concussions out of the game in some capacity, but I think you just do that by not having a kickoff. Like, I think that's the easiest way, and I don't think anybody's really going to miss it that much. Like, I want quarterbacks. It's like 80-yard touchdown drive. We don't get that anymore. We all starting at the 35. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's insane. But all right. So as we mentioned in the before the show and a little bit into the show, we are doing our quarterback confidence game that we do every year after the season ends, where we pick all 32 teams and determine who their starting quarterback is going to be, and we rank them in reverse order in confidence.
I did find it real quick. In 2024, we had 7 return touchdowns on kick returns, and punt returns didn't change anything.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
So, except that really we had worse field position for punters this year, for like punt returners this year, because you had to go a longer distance.
Yeah.
Typically, we had 1 fewer kick return touchdown this year, and somehow we had 9 more punt return touchdowns this year across the NFL.
I would mark that as a coincidence on the punt return thing.
Same, and on the kick returns, basically no difference.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I don't. Again, we're gonna beat that dead horse. I don't want to see a drive starting on the 35 as a standard practice. Like, if you want the drive to start at the 35, you have to earn it either by creating a turnover or getting a stop, deep in your opponent's territory or whatever. But not like this. So anyway,
let's get to the quarterback.
Let's talk quarterbacks, because that's what we do here as people who talk about football. All right, Corey, I'm going to start with you because I know you're a little more prepared. Evan is still looking at something.
I'm trying to figure out
is that the ringer that you're looking at?
Trying to figure out who the other potential quarterbacks could be.
I'm seeing names that as you're scrolling that I've never even heard of.
Because none of them are quarterbacks at the top of the draft.
Yeah.
Or are we having position players start quarterback
Well, no,
now?
he's looking at like a mock
It's not your
draft.
fantasy team from
yeah.
2020, Corey.
So, all right. Corey, tell me something. I'm going to ask you this. How many rookies do you have starting?
So, week one, Uno.
Fernando Mendoza?
No. Yes,
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say, what? I was going to say.
I put 21 confidence points on him starting for the Raiders week
Interesting.
1.
I put a little bit less
I know you
on
put
him
less
just
because he's not on the team
because
yet.
I was super confident in everybody else, and I was like, I figured I should knock him
But
down.
I was like, you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm just going to go for it.
I feel
Why
pretty
not?
good. I feel pretty confident you're getting those 21 points, and I'll get my 11 as well. But yeah, like it's a pretty weak quarterback draft, which is why this is actually kind of, for me, a little bit of a boring exercise this year compared to past years, just because I think so many teams are going to roll it over with their current
Virtually every other quarterback on my list, started this year. In fact, everybody else started at some point this year.
Yeah.
But, most of them were, the team's starter.
Right. So, who did you rank 30 with 32 confidence points, just out of curiosity?
Same guy you did, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, sweep it on now.
He's not going anywhere. He stays healthy.
They're not going to use him in the preseason.
A lot of after I had done mine and I pulled yours into my document, I was comparing our notes, and we have a few that are semi-wildly different, but a lot of it comes down to I have a lot of nervousness around their injury potential, right? So, for example, you have 28 confidence points on Dak Prescott being the Cowboys' week 1 starter. I have 14. It's not because I don't think that he's going to be a Cowboy next year. I just worry about he has an injury history, and he was healthy this year, and he has had a hard time staying healthy for multiple years in a row.
He's had a couple of injuries, but again,
most of those have happened in season, though. They haven't
he's not
been
gonna play in the
leading
preseason.
into week 1.
That's my big thing is I don't worry so much about injuries for people maybe happening in training camp, because those are pretty uncommon unless you've got Falah on your team stepping on Lamar Jackson and ruining the season. But the injury guys that I'm worried about are dudes that are carrying injuries into the offseason.
Yeah.
Players like Daniel Jones.
Absolutely.
Players
We
like
have
Patrick
very
Mahomes.
similar.
Yes.
You have 8, I have 7 on Daniel Jones. Patrick Mahomes, you've got 9, and I've got 6.
Yeah. So I think that those are.
I very strongly thought about putting Dylan Raiola as the Chiefs' week 1 starter, just because. It's I'm not going to do it.
I would have quit the podcast. Has he declared for the draft?
I have no idea, but I almost
feel
thought
like he might go back to school.
But no, I stuck with Patrick Mahomes, but I really am not confident that he is actually going to start week 1.
Well, and the funny thing is, I was like, initially I was like, maybe I should pick Patrick's backup. But the problem is his backup tore his ACL too. So
Patrick Mahomes is literally my lowest confidence of players who are currently like the starter for their team coming out of this past year.
Yes,
Everybody that I have below him is like they'll be new to the team.
Yeah, the only person I have lower than I have Mahomes and Jones back to back at 9 and 8. But the lowest, currently entrenched starter that was the planned starter this last season is J.J. McCarthy. I've got him with 6 confidence.
Yeah, and I've got Kirk Cousins with 4 for the Vikings.
Yeah, so you don't even have J.J. starting.
I
No.
put JJ for the Vikings. At
I don't have
7.
JJ starting anywhere next year. JJ was so bad this year.
He was really bad.
If you don't got a better plan than that, they just fired their GM over the quarterback situation because he had so much confidence in J.J. McCarthy. And you think that J.J. McCarthy is going to be their week 1 starter? Hell to the no.
I mean,
That is a good plan.
he's a first-round pick.
First round pick by the guy who's fired.
Right.
Yeah, but he's still on the team, and he's still on a rookie
For now.
Yeah.
Well, the rookie deal is...
Who's gonna take him? Like,
Still waiting on.
Nobody. That doesn't mean he's starting.
I think you got.
That doesn't mean he's starting.
I think it's more likely you see them kick the tires on for a 3rd year than picking somebody else up. Although I do like the Kirk Cousins pick. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
I put him on the Falcons still. I'm about to put Josh Rosen on the Jets because I have no idea.
Yeah, I should have had this as a prereq. Who do you have for the Jets, Corey?
I have Kyler Murray with 2 confidence points.
Okay, I mean, obviously Murray's one of the guys that we all assume is probably going to be moving on from his team.
Yes.
You saw.
You have Kyler Murray going to the Falcons.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You have Tua going to the Jets.
Yes, I do.
I've got Tua going to the Cardinals.
I had to pick somebody. I feel like the Cardinals are gonna. I don't know. I think.
You went with Brissett, which I think is very fair.
Brissett.
I think that's fair.
I
don't know.
So I could see the reason why I picked Brissett for the Cardinals is because
They like him.
well they like
They
him.
like him. He's there.
And
He
was better than Kyler was this year,
he was
and also
to an extent, but he also like some of the stats that you might look at are inflated. You have to look past like the volume stats because he was on pace to throw like 750 passes this year if he had played all 17 games.
I mean that's it's absurd for a backup quarterback.
It's
who's
absurd
thrown
for
the
a
ball.
starting quarterback.
Yeah, I know, I agree, but like it's insane, especially when it's a guy who's not even your scheduled starter. But I feel like the Cardinals are going to draft a quarterback at some point this year. But I think they have the number 3 pick. I don't think they're picking a quarterback.
No,
There's nobody worthy.
You got to go offensive lineman there,
and
probably.
So I think any quarterback they pick, maybe on a day 2 pick or something like that, will sit behind Brissett much more likely than they
I'm very excited, in the next month roughly to start, doing my draft prep and start grinding some of the film because I am curious about some of the quarterbacks behind Mendoza and and just how weak is this class?
Very.
Because like looking at any of the industry, talking heads, it's like the weakest quarterback draft class we've seen in a long time. But I'm curious just how weak is it? Like, what are all the flaws that these other quarterbacks have? But it doesn't seem like there's anybody else who you look at as like a day 1 pick.
No, there isn't.
Like I think we're gonna get our quarterback out of the way at the start of our show. And
that's it.
That's gonna be it.
Well, I was just looking at Danny Kelly from the Ringer, his big board. There is 1 quarterback on the whole thing right now.
Yeah, and it's
how many picks are in his big board? Is it 100 or?
I mean, it was like just the first round.
probably usually just the first
okay.
But
round.
I mean, still, nobody else was mentioned. So I mean, I can feel you. And Drew Aller out of Penn State, he sucks.
He's terrible.
And he's coming off a horrible injury as well. Ty Simpson out of Alabama,
I've seen him as like
he's
a
number 2 behind
guy
Mendoza.
behind Mendoza, but I haven't
he's not
seen
very
a lot
good either.
of good things.
His play style is frenetic. Like he's just, it's like he's had like too many Red Bulls, and he's just jacked up. And
slamming O-bombs with Helby. And
or he's had original Four Loko, right?
Oh,
that
boy.
stuff makes you crazy. He's kind of all over the place. Garrett Nussmeier this season, colossal disappointment. Brian Kelly, he ain't got no job.
No.
He was supposed to have been a Heisman contender, and his coach got fired. And finally, Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. Couldn't beat Georgia Tech this year, which is an indictment.
Yikes.
Drake May couldn't beat Georgia Tech.
Okay, but
And look what happened.
He
in
just
the
had the
playoffs.
worst playoff run of all time.
There you go.
how did he do in the postseason?
I mean, he's still. Would you take Drake May on your team if you didn't have Lamar Jackson?
Oh yeah,
Exactly. So you'd be happy to have him. You might take Drake May even if you had Lamar Jackson. I'm kidding. Maybe. But anyway, Evan, I'm curious. I'm not sure if you've had your chance. Who do you have playing for the Dolphins?
I
That's
put
a
Kyler Murray for
Okay,
the Dolphins.
all right.
Okay, that's
so-
fair.
2 points.
So we're all kind of shuffling around. Corey
Eric and I somehow came up with the same name and the same confidence points for the Dolphins
for Malik Willis.
with 3 points.
Yeah, 3 confidence points on Malik Willis playing for the Miami Dolphins.
Who do you have for the Steelers?
I have Will Howard.
Who?
He's
Will Howard,
Will Howard. Yeah, he's like their
Ohio State
non-Rodgers
quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to be a rookie?
No,
No, he's
Oh.
already on the team.
Oh, interesting.
The reason is I think the Steelers are going to draft like Ty Simpson or something stupid like that later on, and they're not going to be able to start in week 1, so they're going to have to go Will Howard. So I went with him. I mean, Mason Rudolph was an option too, but I couldn't bring myself to put him anywhere on.
There's
my
been
list.
some increasing speculation that Aaron Rodgers is not going to hang it up after all. So I went with Aaron Rodgers with 9 confidence points.
what?
I considered it, but I cannot see him playing for Mike McCarthy again. I just can't.
I couldn't either. Like when they hired Mike McCarthy, I was like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers definitely done now." But apparently, maybe that's not actually Aaron Rodgers' sentiment.
Why wouldn't he just go play for somebody else, though? Why would he go back to the Steelers when I feel like the main reason he went to the Steelers last year was because he loved Mike Tomlin? Like, so now that he goes from a coach that he loves so much that he went to a new team to get a coach that he hates,
Again?
I don't know.
when he could just retire and be rich and married to some woman that nobody's ever heard of that lives in Canada or something, I don't know. Like,
She goes to another school.
I'm definitely not picking a dude that I don't even know what his name.
Well, you didn't know he
because
existed
sucks.
until
Yeah, I didn't
5
know he
minutes ago.
existed. So, like he's gonna be a starting quarterback in week 1.
Will
Somebody's
Howard
gotta
was on.
leave.
He started for Ohio State, and they won the national championship. Come on, man.
That's true.
I think it's about 1 billion times more likely that I am right than you are in this case.
I mean,
and I
it's-
don't think that there's a high probability. There's a reason I only put 9 confidence points there.
Well, I put 4 confidence points in Pittsburgh for Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm okay with that. I honestly
think the Steelers-
like that a lot better than Will Howard,
Yeah,
and I like it about the same as Aaron Rodgers.
Because,
I like
like-
it better in terms of the confidence level. Like I probably
know.
should have lowered my confidence level.
If I low in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
We know that's off-brand.
Oh.
We discussed Mike McCarthy last week. This is as off-brand as it gets. The little gump from Hawaii that can't stay healthy, that can't keep his mouth shut,
That can't play in the cold.
can't play, period. But especially not in the cold. He's going to function in Steel Town? Come on. Oh, I hope you're right because I want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're hoping you're right because you want to see it too.
You know who I left off my list, who I really should have put somewhere?
Uh-oh. Yo, let's hear it.
Jameis Winston.
I
Neither of us put
Oh,
Jameis
we
Winston
didn't. Not on mine
anywhere.
either.
How did
Oh.
we overlook
Because
Jameis?
Jameis isn't allowed to start week 1.
Well, I have Josh Rosen for the Jets.
He really
covered,
should
so
be somewhere on here.
I put Jameis for the Jets in 1. That's going to be a disaster.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
No.
I
Nobody
should put
knows.
Jameis for the Browns.
Nobody knows who the Jets quarterback is going to be at this point.
We both put Shador for
I put
5
put
points on the
Shador. I
Browns.
was
Oh,
like,
I must be real confident in Shador because I have 6.
oh,
on the
big
Browns.
big spender on Shador.
Shador 6.
I can't even. I didn't even spell his name right. I almost put Deshaun Watson. Right?
I
They're
mean, he's still
stuck
on
with
the
him.
team. Like,
They're still paying him, aren't they?
They
yeah,
are. He is.
that's a big part of the reason why I don't think they're going to get another quarterback.
Oh,
It's
my
why I
God.
went with Shador.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Pro Bowler
goodness.
Shador, by the way.
Oh my God. Along with Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
You know who would actually be really interesting for Jameis to land on? The Falcons.
I mean,
That would be a really fun team with Jameis throwing to potentially Kyle Pitts if he's still there, to Drake London, like throwing to Bijan Robinson.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool, but I don't think Kevin Stefanski's going to put up with Jameis being a loose cannon that he is. I don't buy it.
Was Stefanski the Browns coach when they got rid of Baker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Stefanski won his first Coach of the Year with Baker, I
He
believe.
won his only his only playoff win was with Baker.
Yep.
So I mean, there you go. Just apoplectic that Kevin Stefanski's coaching the Falcons.
Your boy.
I was having a really enjoyable run of the Falcons hiring terrible coaches. Like after they fired Dan Quinn, I was like, okay.
And at the end of the season, you're kind of riding high, like this young quarterback, Tyler Shuck, who everybody's like, this guy's gonna be terrible,
including me.
and somehow he ended up actually
called
being
him Tyler
not just
Suck?
being the best quarterback on their roster, which would not have been saying much at all.
No.
But he wound up actually being legitimately pretty good.
Solid, like to the point where if he had started all 17 games, we win the division.
Yeah.
He was that good.
Yes.
That
Or at
good.
least tied for it, right?
We would have been a 4-way tie. And maybe we would have had the tiebreaker. It's just, the NFC South is ridiculous.
Yes.
All right.
I'm a lot more confident in Tyler Shuck than you are, apparently. Starting week 1, by the way.
I mean, that was just because I'm very confident he's starting.
I put 25 points.
25,
I
yeah.
didn't. That was where I was just like, okay, I got to put some of these guys somewhere. So I put him a little lower. I don't know why. I put notably low quarterbacks. I had Jalen Hurts at 14 for the Eagles because I think that Howie Roseman and especially that mob of a fan base is dying to get rid of Jalen Hurts because he's not that good.
I put 24, and then I saw your number. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have put quite that many.
There's a lot of chirping
Yeah,
about them
there
wanting to
is,
move on
there
from it. And I don't
is.
know if they can. I don't think they ultimately will.
I don't think
But
they will either.
among-
they paid him, didn't they?
Yeah, they already paid him, but among the quarterbacks that are seemingly entrenched,
Yeah.
he's one of the ones I'm least confident in.
That's fair.
And
That's
then
very
I also have Joe Burrow lower than Jalen Hurts by one spot.
Really?
I don't think Joe
we
Burrow
have
wants
we have
to
similar
be there.
we have similar confidence. You have 13, I have 16 in Joe Burrow, which is
I
by
put
far the
30
lowest
for
I've ever
Joe
put.
Burrow.
Because there's like Joe Burrow potentially not wanting to be there.
He's
B,
talking about going. He's lucking himself. Like, come on, like let's be
B,
serious.
he has an injury history that does include some preseason injuries as
That's
well.
why they always start 0-2.
And so there's a double layer of lack of confidence in Joe Burrow being with the Bengals for me.
Like, there's clearly something amiss with him in Cincinnati. Like
He's literally said in press conference or alluded to at press conferences his lack of desire to be in that situation. He hasn't gone so far as to say I don't want to be in Cincinnati, I don't want to be a Bengal, but something is going to have to change within that organization and within the team for him to want to be there, because I think he's getting really tired of the losing.
he's getting tired of getting
He's
the crap
getting
beat out of him.
Yeah, he's getting tired of the crap getting beat out of him because their defense can't stop anybody and their offensive line can't stop anybody.
Yeah, kind of a problem. And also, he doesn't like Zach Taylor. Like, it's obvious on...
We are dangerously close to Andrew Luck 2.0.
That's what I'm saying.
A guy who would have been a surefire Hall of Famer if he had played another 3 seasons.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't think he needed very much more.
Andrew Luck, he made like 2 Pro Bowls. Like,
Some of that had to do with injuries.
yeah, that kind of costs a lot of people, but I don't know, man. Like,
Andrew Luck was him.
he was. I agree, he was him, and he was stuck in a horrible situation, and it ruined his career. I agree with all that, but I don't think he was like 2 or 3 years. If he had like a normal career the whole time, where he played 15 years or something like that, I think ultimately, yeah, he goes to the Hall of Fame. But I think the Colts ruined the time they had with him, in addition to making sure they
I think
didn't
if
have
Luke
long with him.
Kuechly is in the Hall of Fame, Andrew Luck with 3 more years would be in the Hall of Fame.
Luke Kuechly was the best linebacker in the league, though, man. Andrew Luck was never that level of a quarterback. He was never the best quarterback in the league. Of course, he shared the league with Tom Brady.
He was the
so,
best who was not Tom Brady, Peyton Manning,
Aaron Rodgers.
Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers.
It's a long
And
list.
they're like the 4 best quarterbacks of all time, arguably.
I mean, they're all up there, so...
Certainly, like those years of the 4 of them were the best
Yeah,
quarterbacking
that's-
years in league history.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. All right, so anything else interesting? Evan, did you pick somebody for the Vikings other than J.J. McCarthy?
I put J.J. McCarthy
Okay.
for 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going with that as well.
And then did we get your Cardinals pick?
I put Jacoby Brissett in 3.
Okay.
Okay.
But like it's kind of a mess down there. Who do y'all have playing quarterback for the Colts?
We both have Daniel
I put
Jones
Daniel
with
Jones.
similarly lowish
I mean,
confidence,
they
8
seem
and
to
7.
want to bring him back. Like, it's interesting because it's like the opposite of basketball, where the Achilles injury for a quarterback is not as lengthy of a recovery time as an ACL tear, which is weird. But
granted, they're older quarterbacks, so it's kind of hard to say what it'll be for Daniel Jones. But I mean, the most recent Achilles injury, like serious Achilles injuries we've seen for quarterbacks, were Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, and they both were horrible the following year, and then were much better the year after that. Like Aaron Rodgers this year was not great, but far better than he was last year. Kirk Cousins this year, when he started, was actually pretty darn good.
that's a little skittish against the Rams. That was bad.
He was better than he was last year. Last year he had two good games, and they were both against the Buccaneers.
Interestingly enough, yeah. I went with Daniel Jones as well, just because again, he's going to be cleared for training camp. Whether that means he's going to be ready to start week 1, that's up in the air. But I think,
like, I'm not confident enough in anybody else. I'm not confident enough that it would be
I put
Anthony
Anthony
Richardson if it's not Daniel Jones.
I thought about it.
I mean,
I think they hate him. Like, they clearly hate him. Like, again, first round pick, and they benched him for Daniel Jones, which actually worked out because Jones played well for most of the
Jones
year.
played very well for the first part of the year, and
he got hurt.
And it was basically when he got hurt that Jonathan Taylor started playing much less effectively.
Isn't that funny how that works? What happened to Derrick Henry when Lamar was out? You know. So, last one I have, unless I think of something else, Texans. I still have C.J. Stroud as their starting quarterback.
I do as well.
I have lower confidence. I only have 12 points.
I've got 15.
I don't know what else they're gonna do. Like they can't.
23.
Okay, well, I mean that's fine. Like,
I think that's fine. Like, I think he's going to start. So I think you're going to get those 23 points.
I think
we'll
you
get
like,
a little bit honest there, but like, who else are they going to go with? And it's I don't know. It's so challenging because when you really dig deep, he's not been a very good quarterback in any of the 3 years he's been in the NFL. Like, if you look at a lot of the advanced metrics from his first year that we all agree, like, he looked really good, they're almost identical to his second and third years.
I mean, I thought regular season wise this year
His like uncatchable ball rate, almost identical. Like,
okay. I
mean, like it's like what Troy Aikman said in their playoff game. Like, you know, he looked great in year 1, and then years 2 and 3 he hasn't been very good, and something is wrong and needs to be fixed.
Yeah, and but I don't think they have a choice though. They got to try to ride with him. I mean,
Did they pay him too?
He's not. He's eligible for an extension this offseason.
yeah,
okay.
but they picked up the 5th-year option, I believe, already.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he won't get an extension.
Right.
But like, yeah, I was a bunch of people were talking. Oh, they're gonna get rid of him. Like, you can't get rid of him. It is what it is. Like, you drafted him number 2. He's won you 3 playoff games, even if he wasn't the driving force behind their success. You can't just cut bait with somebody when you're in the middle of a window of contention, because that team's really good and they're well coached. They've got an excellent defense, and there's not really a better option out there for them to go pick. So you just got to hope he figures it out because he's still young.
Derek is Eric, is your boy Derek Carr unretiring?
No,
I've heard whispers about.
I've heard
that.
whispers too, and it made me very upset. So no.
Throwing the ball away on 4th down.
Or having everybody think Chris Olave sucks because his brain doesn't work, and then he gets Tyler Shuck and he has a great year.
Chris Olave was back, baby.
He was
good.
So good. Unbelievable. All right. Well, anything else quarterback wise, fellas? Because we're coming up.
No, I think we covered the big ones. Once Evan, you can send yours to me, and I'll format it all, and we'll put those up on the website so that after week 1 of the 2026 season, we can go through and tally up all the points and see how we do.
We're gonna be pretty right a lot this year.
I think so. I really don't think there's going to be a ton of turnover. I only have five new faces across the NFL, and that includes Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, which is an obvious one. Yeah. All right, so that does it for this week's episode. Before we get rolling, shout-outs. Evan, who do you got? What do you got?
I couldn't think of anybody. I don't have any this week.
Not your dad who had a birthday.
Oh, I mean, well, we already mentioned him.
You didn't seem inclined to mention it if we hadn't already, so. But happy birthday.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all you got. Yeah. Corey?
I guess shout out to Pat Moran and Diego Aguian, who called this past week's basketball game. They did a very good job. We're very prepared. Diego had like 5 pages of notes ready to go. It's almost too much in some ways. But they did a really good job calling that game, and I had my hands full doing double duty on the switchboard and scoreboard during that game. So it was helpful for me to be able to do that. And I thought I had another one, but I think that might be it.
I hope Diego enjoyed his Chipotle.
Yeah, Eric randomly ran into Diego at Chipotle.
It's not that random. It's literally right across the street.
Sure.
It's where DeMath kids would go. But
I wasn't expecting him to still be in the area this late, though.
I mean, I don't know. All right, my shout out is a rest in peace to Robert Duvall, legendary actor who passed away this week. For those who don't know, Robert Duvall played Tom Hagen in The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. He was also played Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore in Apocalypse Now, who had maybe one of the most famous war movie quotes of all time. I'm sure you've heard it at some point. But 95 years old, excellent movie career, obviously, legendary guy. Everybody seemed to love him. He had to put up with Marlon Brando, who wouldn't memorize his lines, so he had to wear his lines on his suit when they were doing scenes in The Godfather, and he was off screen, so... what a champion, and rest in peace and congratulations on a wonderful career, and hope the Duvall family is doing well, and hopefully everybody is able to grieve appropriately for a big loss. All right, that does it for this episode of the Sports Ballers. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can reach us at thesportsballers@gmail.com if you have any feedback or complaints or whatever. We don't care. Just let us know. You can get this podcast on Apple, Spotify. You can get it on YouTube Live as well. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at SportsBallers18. You can follow us individually, although you guys aren't super active on Twitter, and really neither am I lately because it kind of sucks. But nevertheless, Corey is at Corey Puffett. I am at Quagmire67, and Evan is at Evan_13. Corey's doing the 6-7 hand motion. Evan was thinking it, so was I. So before we lose our nerve too much, let's get out of here. But next week we'll probably talk about, I don't know, football's over. We'll figure something out. Hopefully not the Orioles, because that's just brutal.
The Olympics will be starting to wrap up.
Yeah, we can talk Olympics. We can maybe do a little bit of complaining about how dumb the NBA is, and that'll probably be it. But until then,